Welcome back to TDT, Team Drop Thursdays. You know who I am, but this fella, he is ranked in the top 50. It's definitely not Joshy. Joshy's still recovering from the huge party I've literally made up for him, and he's still not here, still recovering. Mr. Bradley, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Just chilling here at work, so I got limited time, but keen to discuss the team sheets. And you've got someone on here who can actually grow facial hair, so there's a side swipe at him.
Oh, I like that. And is that actually like a mustache?
What, this one currently? No, this is just a full Mexican beard at the moment.
Lovely, lovely. Well, that's more than what Joshy provides for us because he hasn't been on since the beginning of time. We don't know where he is. We've cut his wages. He's gone. But I'm sure he'll come crawling back like the sad, sad little man that he is. All joking, though. We love him. We hope he's having a great time. It was his birthday recently. He's just turned 12. So, congratulations to him. That's wonderful for him. He's almost into the big boy years. And, mate, let's get to the chase. Where are you ranked?
38th overall. So yeah, top 40 is nice to be there and should be climbing through the ranks, hopefully. It's a little bit hard to keep climbing when you're sitting there, though.
So are you far off top 10 at all?
Honestly, I'm not even joking. I haven't even counted how many points I'm off first. I'm just worrying about my own side. I'm not worrying what the others do.
Yep. Nah, like that. Well, are there any players that you're hoping come back into the lineups this week, mate?
Some of the dead rookies, but no one specifically. I'm hoping there's a little bit of carnage just because my team's okay for it this week. But yeah, I haven't worked out my trades either. So hopefully these team sheets that we're going to go through do.
Yeah, I know Lord Sardis is back in, and it'd just be, it'd be a miracle to see him average 110 on the run home. I bought Day Wicks in a few weeks ago, but to see him back is lovely, even though I'm fairly sure he's going to be sub. Like, I think looking at the bench, it's either going to be him or Gresham. But I don't know, depending on how that goes, it'd be lovely to get a full game out of him. But even when he plays a full game, he's capped at like 30. So I'd highly suggest not going there. Have you seen any like snippets of who's in, who's out at all?
I'm scrolling through now. Have you updated your page?
No, I haven't. Let's get stuck into it, mate. Enough about, how Joshy never rocks up and you being ranked, 10th or 38th, whichever one, close enough. As we can see, Zach Johnson comes in for a debut. Archer Day Wicks is on the bubble who comes in. I do not suggest bringing him in. And the bloke who's going to average 130 on the run home, Sardis, absolute superstar. Oh, geez, I wish he was at a lower price because I'd 100% go back to him. I can't get enough of the man. Out goes the useless Ben Mackay, Zach Reed, who has been an absolute superstar for our Supercoach teams, and Kyle Langford, who is not Supercoach relevant at all. If we're going to go into it, Hawks have made one change. That's absolutely terrible. There's no Huswaite. He's basically dead. I think that's safe to say. Is that right, mate?
You'd say so. It'd have to be like a mid-injury for him to get a gig now.
Yeah, I agree. And we already knew the Pies ins. That was confirmed in the early training sessions of this week. But out is Cox, Parker, Hayes, Maynard, and the Bunnings man himself, Markov. And I think it's fair to say that literally none of the ins are Supercoach relevant at all. Unless...
Yeah, only draft relevant.
Don't make me throw up. That's disgusting. I don't think there's any relevance here either. I mean, looking at the benches, who cares? Like, let's be honest here. I think the only relevance is that Finn McGuinness is on the bench. He could be the sub, although I don't think he will be. I don't see the point in picking him unless he's going to tag. If he plays, he's going to go straight to Nick Dacos, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He's got it. So I'm hoping that as a non-owner. But yeah, certainly not death riding because I want him in my side at some point.
Yeah, no, I understand that, mate. Understand that. And yeah, nothing there. I don't like there's nothing relevant, mate. In for the Gold Coast Suns is Leonardo Lombard, Ned Moyle. Out is Malcolm Roses and Ethan Reid. In for Freo. In is Joshy Draper, Nat Fife. Geez, that's a throwback. And Sean Hodor Darcy out. Alex Pearce, Cooper Simpson, who literally anyone that plays this seriously would have brought in last week. Well, in saying that, I know some people skipped, and good on to them. And Isaiah Dudley is out for personal reasons. There's no Supercoach relevance for the ins directly, but I reckon Darcy definitely affects Jackson. Is that a fair shout, mate?
Yeah, and fair shout for Moyle coming in affects Wits as well. So, yeah, stuff those picks.
Do you... I mean, mate, you're ranked so much higher than I know people around 2.5k where I am. They like Wits isn't an option. Is it a bit different where you're ranked?
I wouldn't even go there if I was 5K. Like, Moyle's going to be in there that side. Wits is going to rest, if they're going to make finals, you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I think Wits gets rested, around 21 or, around that sort of mark anyway. So for me, even at flex, I probably wouldn't do it. That's just my opinion. Like, there's a world where he's fine, but just seeing Moyle named there, what is Wits going to do? Play, how much percentage are they splitting that? Is Moyle going to be used more of a forward? Either way, Moyle for Reid doesn't really help Wits' case. And then, with Darcy, I'm sure he'll get injured at some point, but it definitely helps non-owners for that Jackson pick. So I wouldn't be going Jackson at 560 or whatever he is now. I think you missed the boat.
Is it fair to say that if you have Jackson, you hold because of the low break even, and if you don't have him in, you just don't bring him in?
You hold, but you hold. Yeah, that's right. Like, you just don't bring him in now. You just leave it there. And if you're an owner, you just hold and hope that he doesn't score a 60 this week in that sort of conditions that he'll be playing up at.
I think one of the subs will be, honestly, it could either be Banfield. He's actually been really good as sub. Surely it's got to be Fife though, doesn't it?
You'd think so, and he'll probably come forward. So, yeah. Yep.
Yep. And I guess those that jumped on Erasmus at that elevated 150k price, they get another full game out of him. Is there anything more to talk about from this game at all?
Not really. No, Dudley's out, but he's not that highly owned, I don't think, anyway.
Yeah, no, perfect. And it's interesting to see Mr. Driswold is an emergency, so he's got to be close to coming back in. I know he was on limited minutes in the waffle and was in the rehab group for his ankle. But moving on, geez, this is going to be interesting. I think you're a Richmond man. Actually, take a stab at the ins for me, would you?
I'm already looking at them, so I can't even give you a stab because I'll be lying.
In Dion Prestia, Toby Nankervis, Tommy Lynch, Tyler Sonsi, out Thompson Dow, Sammy Layla with that hammy, Maurice Rioli because he was just putrid, Samson Ryan, we all knew that was going to happen. In Toby McMullen, Josh Kelly, out Weir and Rouston. Surely Whitfield plays off halfback, doesn't he?
Yeah, you'd think so. I think it's just a once-off. A huge red flag if he plays half-forward flank again, but you can't jump off him anyway. We know what he can do. Like, he scored an 80 with no kick-ins playing half-forward flank. Like, if that's his worst, then I'm holding him as an owner. But if I'm a non-owner, I'm also wanting him to bottom out.
Oh, absolutely. No, literally, I have no more to add to that, mate. You've summarised that perfectly. Gray, who is on the bubble, I'm personally bringing him in. I think he's the best option this week. Trainer holds, and there's nothing. I mean, Sims holds as well, who's going to play probably as a sole forward. Is that fair to say now that Nag's back? He won't do much rucking, will he?
He should still pinch hit. I don't know about Gray. Like, Bolter's not back, is he?
No. Because this is night game, remember, mate, isn't it? Yeah, 4:15. So yeah, it'd be past his curfew for being a naughty boy.
Oh, right. Okay. I was thinking night game would be like 7:30. That's why I was like, what? Why is Bolter not back? This is actually really hard to read on Campbell Gray now, actually. Yeah, sure, there's other rookies now because that's a little bit scary that he could be dropped the week after, but he might even be fighting for a spot with Sims. If like he outperforms Sims might come out for him instead.
I mean, like, where else do you go on the bubble? Like, you can't go Daywicks, surely. You've got to go Gray, don't you?
Yeah, probably. If you're speaking bubble boys, yeah, he'd have to be it. You just hope he holds and hope he performs because he's a bit of a swingman. So if they bring Bolter back, yeah, they're going to have to play Gray forward. Gray can play both ends of the grounds as well.
Does that mean that whoever has the worst game out of Gray, Sims, and Fall is out next week?
I'd say so, but I think Fall's bought himself some time. I reckon they're going to just leave him there at the moment. So I reckon it'll be between Sims and Gray, and you're sort of just hoping that Gray wins out on that. I think Gray's more experienced, obviously. Sims is very raw, so if Gray can pinch hit or something like that and show that he's more than capable of playing on Hogan that he's named on, I think they'll likely keep Gray in the side over Sims. It'll be, as you said, performance-based, clearly.
Yeah, and I know you love a sneaky pod. Not saying you were, if you were considering Toby Green, are you now not considering him because Josh Kelly's back in?
Personally, I would never consider Green for my side. I see why you'd do it. If you want to take a punt, like there's money you could make off it, but I just don't know if the CBAs are going to be there now with Kelly in the side, like you've just alluded to.
Yeah, wonderful. The sub. Geez, who's it going to be, mate? Is it going to be Sonsi? Sonsi, yeah. And probably McMullen or Angove.
Yeah, Angove maybe.
Yeah. And I think, Smith's on the bubble, isn't he? Is that right or no?
He's kind of already is on the bubble. He scored a 69 last week, I think it was. It wouldn't surprise me if they put him as sub as well. It's very hard to read these team sheets for Richmond, like who they put as sub. Like I've been wanting them to play McIntosh as sub, but they won't do it.
Well, he's your man.
Don't get me started.
I know you have some very raw emotions for him, and I know you're a huge fan of him, especially when he wears the headband. Were you, as a Tigers man, and I know that you're like you are open to many suggestions. You love a cheeky pod trade in. Any love for McAuliffe at all?
No, I think that ship has sailed also. Like 97 against North and 97 against Essendon. 287k, I think he is. I wouldn't do it. There's no point. He's not going to make you, to 400k before his buy anyway, in my opinion.
Yep, perfect. Well, I only own Tommy Green out of that, and I'm heavily considering him as a VC against your mob. The next game we've got up is Sydney versus Adelaide. Rory Laird has been managed. Zach Taylor's out. Tex comes in. Brodie Smith in. Sammy Wicks out. Callum Mills out. Florent out. Caleb Mitchell's in. Justin McInerney's in. And Louis Melican is in. This is going to be interesting because I had a lot of interest in Sheldrick. A lot of interest in him. Let's see the bench, though. What have we got? Oh, yeah, of course. Surely it's going to be Mitchell as the sub for Sydney.
You'd think so, him or Cleary.
Yeah. And I think I'd be fairly confident that Sammy Berry is probably not going to be the sub if you were looking there. I know a few people were. And I think Sid Draper is going to be the sub from Adelaide.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Did you, again, for the reasons I mentioned earlier, did you have any interest in Sheldrick or Berry?
No way. All good price. None of those.
Yeah. I was looking at Sheldrick. Definitely was looking there. Benny Patton still can't get back in. And yeah, I think that's about it for them, mate. We are flying through these because I know you've got to head off at 7. So we'll try and get through it as soon as possible. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? In for Melbourne, we have Jack Henderson, Jed Adams, Bailey Laurie, Jack Viney out. Shout out to one of my dear friends, Embed of Joel. He'll be shattered that Spargo's out. In for the Saints, Dan Butler, Jack Carroll, Angus Hasty, Max Heath. Side note, again, I don't think this is very Supercoach relevant, but Max Heath is clearly more preferred in the pecking order than Boyd, so I don't think we've got to worry about any late ins now. Will be interesting to see their bench, though, extended. I know it's Sunday. That's going to be annoying, but I love seeing Xavier Lindsay at halfback named on the field. Like, that is just Oh, that's immense. Absolutely immense. Keeler has also been named on field with a break even of 160 odd K. So if you're feeling flirtatious, you could go there. Interchange. Now, mate, because you're the guest, you can tell me who the subs are going to be.
I'm going to have a guess and say Hasty.
Yep.
I couldn't tell. Maybe Sharp for that other one. What do you reckon?
Oh, it's interesting. I don't know how they're. Yeah, I don't know, mate. I genuinely have no clue. Turner, I saw today that Turner's ranked in the top 6 key position defenders by Champion Data. Thought that was very
Champion Data
interesting.
knows nothing.
Yeah, well, hey, I mean, they know more than me, clearly. Oh God, what's just happened here? Why has that just gone down there? That's terrible. Right, I think, I thought so. We weren't getting all of them. Jesus. O'Connell holds, Hall holds, Hunter Clark plays, and I think it's going to be out of Hasty or Boxall for me. Maybe
Yep.
Boxall plays. I don't know. And Melbourne, oh, mate, I couldn't care less. Could not care less. Do you have any interest in this game at all besides maybe a sneaky VC on Gorn?
Yeah, probably just the Gorn factor really and Petrarca. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
not the worst matchup I've seen.
No, I mean, I know there's a few people that still are holding Angus Hasty. Hugh Boxall was brought in by a fair amount of people, and he looks to be a player, just can't get on the ground, which is a shame. But we'll move on in for the Eagles. We have Hamish Davis, Job Shanahan, Jack Williams, Bo Peanut Allen, Archer Reed out. Jake Waterman with that shoulder. Bailey Williams managed. So there you go. Flynn he's probably going to turn up, you'd think. In for the Cats, Connor O'Sullivan, Oliver Wiltshire, and Georgie Stevens, who is highly rated. Let's go to the lineups. Of course, I've got no outs. Of course. Oh, yeah. Oh, my man, Ted Clossy on the bench. Wouldn't that just be wonderful? He'll be the sub again.
What a
Knowing
choice.
Mr. Scott. Yeah, that's terrible. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. You've got Noah Long, Bo Allen, Gross, Cole, Williams, Shanahan, Davis, and Dewar. Oh, I don't. Ugh.
Those ins help Marek though. Those ins like bringing in key forward and whatnot gives me
Oh,
hope that
absolutely. Absolutely.
Marek's going to play back.
I think he was, yeah. That was just circumstantial with Waterman.
Yep.
And I know he just signed a new contract, but he's got his bag. He'll do his rehab. He'll be fine. I'm fairly confident that Clossy's going to be the sub for Geelong. I think. And I'm gonna go probably. Well, they've got to play one of Williams, Shanahan, or Davis, just to pinch out when Reed goes into the ruck and Flynn's off the ground. Oh,
Davis is sub.
maybe, or they go Gross. Gross. I mean, that man's addicted to the vest, isn't he?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I again couldn't care less. Don't own any of them, but I reckon Clossy's odds-on favourite to be the sub. Although Duncan probably plays, Henry plays, Humphrey plays, and then probably Buse or Mullen play with Clossy sub. But yeah, I'm not too sure there. I'm not too sure. That's difficult. There was rumours going around that maybe Tom Stewart might be out. I mean, there's obviously still heaps of time that can still eventuate. But we all know what Mr. Scott is like. Are you jumping on Tommy Stewart at all?
I don't think I can now in case, the last game and he does get laid out. I would have no one to trade him to. I don't want to downgrade to a rookie.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm really probably going to skip this week just in case he's away out because that really stuffed my team.
Is that purely the only reason as to why you wouldn't go there?
Yeah, I love the pick. I think people are overthinking this completely. The knee, blah blah blah, but he's at 423k. He's going to be a good
Yep.
scorer. I just think it's been burnt by him twice this year already, and same with last year. So I've got nothing wrong with the pick. I think he averages between 95 and maybe 100, but I just see him as a D6, and at worst, if you've got a decent flex, his poor scores every now and then will get knocked out anyway. So I think he's a great pick. I just don't trust him this week on a Sunday game. If he was playing first game, I'd put him up straight up.
Could you? Okay, so how many players do you need to have 100% guaranteed to be playing for you to be able to pick him? Like, are we talking 20?
20. I couldn't do it with 19. I don't want to muck around with that.
I think I'm going to do the exact opposite as you, mate, and I'd be going with 19 with Stewart in.
Yeah, but what happened? Yeah, I don't know. I want my Wallace score knocked out if I have a really putrid game, someone gets
Do
injured.
you think he'd fly over there?
They did it with Stewart. Rookie coach was saying they did it with Stewart. They flew him over and he went out of gastro or something. What didn't it happen?
Yeah, but like gastro is completely different to a knee, and I know that that's like, I know, like, did he have gastro or not? Like, I don't know, but if he actually did, do you really think they'd put him on a plane over there and back to not play if his knee's not 110?
I don't know, but we do know Chris is full of you know what, so it kind of makes sense.
I mean, and I know that can just be taken as a throwaway comment, but that man does not give one flying, like, you know what, you can fill the sentence with there about team sheets or late ins. They'll pay the fine. They don't care.
Yep.
That's why I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm going the opposite of you because I think the value is right there, but I can also understand as to why you'd be thinking that way.
What's your rank at the moment, out of curiosity, too?
It's 2 point. It's definitely 2.5. I don't know. I don't know specifically. Give me 1 second. I'll let you know. 2,551.
Yeah, okay. I'd say sometimes with these trade-ins, these risk rewards, sometimes the risk is worth it, sort of where you're sitting at, but where I'm sitting at, I've got to play a little bit safer.
Or 100%. Yeah, absolutely. There is a massive difference between 38th and 2.5k. 100%. Yep.
And that's not me having a swipe. That's just like where I'm at. If I was sitting in your position, I'd definitely go Tom Stewart. But looking at the teams around me, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to go to a Dacos or a Rao or someone like that. Whereas I can't be the only one in that top 50 that goes to Stewart and then he's laid out. And then I'm banking on all my players throughout the week to have gone good. So, yeah, I think I've just got to go for the safer things this week. And over the next couple of weeks, I'll play a little bit more risky. I have a few ideas, but just depends on if I have the cash. Because cash is so tight. I'm not understanding where this narrative of people bringing in Bonds and Brayshaw and Gorn and stuff's coming from, because I've looked at so many people's benches and they're pretty dead like mine. So it's beyond me. I think it's just a value game from here on out, to be honest.
Like, don't get me wrong. I reckon my cash gen is okay at the moment. Like, okay. Murray should play. So he's 220k. And he's got a break even of 9. Lindsay's playing this week. He's 310k. He's got a break even of 38. And I could easily upgrade Lindsay to a Sarong this week. But I just don't see, like, I don't want my second last midfield premium to be Caleb Sarong. No offense to him. There's nothing wrong with him. I just don't want to. If I can get, say, another 30k on top of Lindsay when Lindsay's playing this week.
Yeah, fair point. And he plays St Kilda, so probably going to get a fair bit of it.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. Like, he was on for a mammoth score. He was on like a 25, 6 minutes into the first quarter. Yes, he scored an 80, which is fantastic for his price, but it really stagnated. That third and fourth quarter, it was like I wasn't watching, but the score stagnated. I'm grateful that he scored the 80, but that could have been something much better.
He dropped a few marks as well. I remember looking at him in the back line.
Yeah, well, and I guess, again, whichever way you want to see it, I'm grateful that he's playing in the back line. But now that I know that, it's like, well, you know, that's points just gone begging.
Yeah.
I just, yeah, no. I forgot to ask, Surely you've seen the subs. Who we got?
I haven't seen the subs at all.
No? Okay. Surely it's going to be Day Wicks will be the sub. He has to be, doesn't he?
I thought people were saying Sardis.
What? No. No way.
Ah,
Surely.
Sardis. Your
What?
boy sucked in.
Oh! Are you... What kind of sick, disgusting... Oh, my God. He has got to leave. He has got to leave. I tell you right now, I sat here, I reckon 2 weeks ago, and just how stupid is Scott? How?
Both of them.
I still don't reckon you go Day Wicks because it capped at 30. If you're an owner
Nah, I'm
already
looking
like
at my
me,
side now. I'll make my trade shortly before we head off, and yeah.
I still don't reckon you go Day Wicks, honestly.
Would you go Clark or Gray, personally, you?
Me? Go on the guy on the bubble, 100%. Look, mate, he's just made Sardis the sub. They've got the same coach.
Only issue is for me, Gray's on the bubble, but next week if Bolter's named, it's so dicey. Like I'm actually pretty undecisive about this one at the moment.
But can't you just get Gray this week and then get Clark next week on the bubble? Isn't that safer?
Probably does make more sense because then we can wait for that West Coast rookie as well, who probably plays next week, is what we're hearing. So
exactly, yeah. And then if you've got Gray in the back line, you just flick a dead forward rook and move some DPP around with Gray.
yeah, I suppose I've probably got to back my own Richmond boy in. It's just worrying. I thought for some weird reason I thought that wasn't a night game technically, but at 4:30 it is for his. What's his curfew again?
I genuinely couldn't tell you. I just know that would go longer than it, and if it's up there, which it is, there's no way he's getting back or whatever.
Oh right, because yeah, we're playing at the Giants. So, oh man, chuck the VC on green. Don't even think about that. Either green would for the VC would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Interesting. I see. Well, now that Day Wicks is probably, let's be honest here, in the realms of a 20 and 38.
Yeah, that's annoying.
It's not fantastic. And I think look at the break evens. It's -11, and now look at Gray. It's -52. He is on the bubble. I think you just take that first price rise, don't you?
Yeah. Look, it's true. You're spot on. Look, I'm looking at my side right now with all the green dots. I've only got 3 missing out of 23, actually, isn't it? Because now the flex counts as your 23rd, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yep. Sorry, having a mental blank. I had 4 hours sleep because of the bubs.
Yeah.
So I'm in a good position. Hey.
No. I completely forgot that. Yeah. But the way I just think, one green dot that I just absolutely detest seeing every single week. It's John Newcomb. Jeez, yeah, I can't stand him, and I know he's going to kill us. Hawks will beat the Pies. I'll tell you that right now. But no, with Day Wicks playing, yeah. I mean, if you had him, obviously you're going to play him on field, but I would not go out of my way to bring him in.
Yeah, it also depends what the extra 20K does for your side as well. Like at the end of the day, that's what they're there for, is to reboot cash generation, but also to make money off the biggest play. And if 20K gets you a day cost instead of like a Matt Rao, you say, like you'd probably go there. Just depends who you prefer.
I know you alluded to it earlier that you would much rather a Rao or Dacos over Stewart. If you had to bring in one of them this week, who is it?
Rao or Stewart? Probably Rao, because I know it's not going to be a way out if it does happen like that on a Sunday. There's just no fallback for Stewart. That's my issue.
Yep.
His break even's 87 as well. So even if he does do 110 against West Coast, he won't be going up heaps, but at least the following week we can bring him in and we know we can plan for him, I suppose. By the time your players have elevated in price and we get projections off yourself, we can sort of mathematically work out how to get Stewart the week after because he plays the last game, I suppose.
That's probably the most attractive sentence I've ever heard you say, mate. My
I'm
goodness.
sure I've said more. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
yeah. Especially, we're going to get to some comments now. Especially, actually, before we do, can I quickly get your VC and C before you head off in 10?
Oh, jeez. Asking for too much, mate. No,
I know.
I'll probably Captain Gorn is what I'm going with, and I'm not playing silly buggers, but I'm probably going to VC either Brayshaw, Rao if I bring him in. My side specifically, I've even thought about Zorko tonight, so I don't really know. It's between Zorko, Brayshaw. Who was the other guy? There might have been one more, but I've kind of gone blank. I don't know if Baz is going to be laid out either, so I don't really want to chuck the VC on Gorn and then have to see somebody in the next game.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't actually have an option. I suppose worst case, I could always see Baz if he's laid out, and you'd get Gorn's score anyway. But
which probably isn't going to be, nothing.
yeah, I haven't really thought of. I know I should think about it, what my VCs and Cs, but I was sort of seeing if there was any ins and outs that would vary it. So at this stage, probably Brayshaw to Gorn is my shorter answer.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. What does Brayshaw need for you to take it? I think the floor gets lowered a little bit. Like I've seen people take on the 126s and stuff like that before, but because it's bye week, surely that gets lowered a little bit, doesn't it?
I'm taking a 120, and I'm happy with a 240 in total, but I'm not taking anything under 120 just due to my rank, I suppose. Like even if you rank 50k, you probably wouldn't take a 115. You'd just take a punt in best 18.
Let me ask you this: what if it's a 119?
Oh, you're probably just taking that then. You're not being so specific where 1 point rides you.
I took a 119 earlier in the year, and it was absolutely disgusting just to look at that. But it's a psychological thing. You're right. It's 1 point. It's 1 point. I'm personally going to go. Actually, I did this the other week, and I almost stuffed it up because I reversed my trades, and then the captaincy was just all cooked. But at this stage, it's gone into Bailey Smith, but that could easily be Tommy Green into Bailey Smith or Tommy Green into Gorn. I'm not too sure what's going on there. And
probably go Tommy Green into Gorn.
You reckon?
In case Baz is laid out, but I think Green's going to go so massive anyway that you'll be laughing.
Well, as I said, you're ranked like 50k higher than I am, mate. So I might as well listen to someone that knows a little bit about this game. And next, beautiful segue to someone that has no idea about this game because he never watches this, is our dear friend, Cheese. Can't watch tonight, but Archer May is a Don, by the way, Scobes. Did you know? This bloke, oh my God. My God. He won't leave us alone, will he?
He's one of my faves.
He is. The content that he comes up with is definitely nothing that we can say before probably, 10:30 on a Friday evening?
The voice notes are elite too.
100% sleep paralysis demon, this fella. Jack Blutcher says, "G'day, legends. How you going, Joshy? Is marriage a hold?" Well, Joshy ditched us. We got someone better in. So, Jack wants to know, mate, is marriage a hold? If you own him, of course.
Yeah, personally, I think you got bigger fish to fry, Jack. I'd be holding him this week, especially because the ins that West Coast have brought in. They've brought in some key forwards there, like Shanahan and whatever. So I think he is a hold. I think it's just a bit of an overreactionary. People did it with Caleb Daniel, scored one, a 50 and, isolated that one incident. Then he goes and does a 97 against Richmond. So I think it could be a world where he does drop a 50, but I think there's more of a chance that he goes 90 to 100 this week anyway, and you're kicking yourself.
I completely agree. Charles Zammett says, "Hello all, go the Lions tonight." I think they'll have it wrapped up by half-time. Mate, can I get your thoughts on this one? Do you tick this off? Thoughts on Dale, Moraes and Lashcroft to Merritt, Wanganeen and Clark with 200k in the bank?
I hate it. I don't want to get rid of Dale, and I'd probably, if I could, hold Ashcroft at this point, unless you really needed his cash, but certainly not for Merritt against Brisbane. And Wang's got the 115 break even and got a bye next week. No, I wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't either. The next comment I can't read out, but that's from Embed of Joel. He's a superstar. We love him here. Number one Patton fan and Sandy Brock enthusiast. Jeffrey Head, superstar. He's in there as well. Jerb, shout out to him. He wants to know who is going to be out of a job first, Michael Voss or Joshy. Who do you reckon, mate?
Oh, definitely Joshy. I've been having to fill in twice now, and you're already having to, pay me X, Y, and Z. So, and I'll probably forward my bill to Joshy actually at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how he's going to pay you because he's not of the legal age to actually, legally work to get a tax file number and contribute to society. But yeah, that's stiff for him. Jerbs also says if named, which he is. C. Gray in for Moraes and then Carroll out for Nate's favourite defensive moneymaker, Sandy Brock. What do you think of this?
Just reading as a whole. I'd bring in Gray for Moraes. I don't know if I'd bring in Sandy Brock now. I think, put it this way, with any of these questions we're getting from rookies, I don't want to pay anything over 170, 180. There's nothing that would tempt me, not even a kilo type. I just think you just want to use all that cash and not have to pay up for any of these guys. You've just missed the boat at this point. It's literally upgrade season, not 200K season for rookies, in my opinion. I didn't get to this rank by sidewaysing every freaking primo and then paying up for every single rookie either. I played the safe game, not the smart game, but just a safe game. But yeah, I mean, your risk reward, if you're going to do something crazy, maybe you grab a points and cash, like a Toby Green, a Shannon Neal, guys I wouldn't pick in my side personally. I'd rather do something like that than grab a guy that could be dropped in the next week or two. Before that McGovern injury, his job security was pretty bad. So for me, no way.
Yeah, no, I completely agree on that as well. Connor Pender, this is an extension on before. He says, thoughts on Dale Moraes and Lashcroft to Merritt, Wanganeen and Clark? We said no to that. He said he's only got 16 players first buy round. Or Caleb Daniel and Lindsay to Gray and Merritt. See, I still wouldn't do that.
No, you're getting rid of, if you've only got 16 on field, you're not getting rid of Lindsay and guys that are playing. You're getting rid of Moraes. You're also holding Ashcroft because he's a warm body, but you're not getting rid of Clark. There's something else you can do in his team. I'm sure there is.
Yeah, no, I agree. Emmett of Joel says, Scobie backwards hat in a hoodie aura. Mate, I ooze aura. He also says, get into the team sheets, you delinquent. Pro going to get a clipping from the boss. I'm fairly sure Pro actually is the boss, so you pipe down, mate. Benji Wilson says, out Reid, McRae and Henderson, in Stewart, Pickett and Gray. That's adventurous. I don't know if I like that.
You got to take some sort of pod somewhere. Pickett's been in form, but so have Melbourne. So he's probably a bit of a barometer for them. If you were to trade out McRae, you're meant to do it last week, in my opinion. Like if I've held McRae this week, I'm not trading him out next week. Kind of doesn't make sense to me.
I agree.
The ins are good though. It depends again. Probably the same with you as how many players you've got. If Stewart is laid out, and if you can balance that out, then you're fine. And even looking at my team now, I didn't even realise I forgot the flex was your 23rd, so I could actually risk it with Stewart this week because it's not his scoring I don't trust. It's just his body.
Yeah. No, wonderful. This is probably right in your area, mate. G-Bag says, hey, fellas, best mids under 430K to bring in this week. Ideally, someone who could finish close to a top 8 to 10 mid from now on. Ned Long. That's your man. And you bank 3K under the 430 because there's no one better. Genuinely no one. I haven't looked. I don't know, but I guarantee that there is no one better than him.
Well, that's enough to make me tap out anyway. Talking about Ned Long, I've got to go at 7 o'clock. And it's ironic that we're talking about Collingwood and I've got to go.
Oh, of course you're doing all right. Give us a shout out to your channel. Where can everyone find you, mate?
They already know. I'm just kidding. Supercoach Pro. Just being silly now. Yes, I do live streams and then join this guy when he needs the hand and when he needs actually proper advice. So, absolutely. And then the Twitter or X, if you want to follow me on that, is just Supercoach Pro 91. But thanks for having me, mate. And it's always good.
Mate. Thank you very much.
All right, mate. I'll leave it there and I'll watch the rest of it while I'm supposedly working.
which you most definitely won't be. Enjoy, mate. Enjoy.
See you,
Have a
mate.
good one.
Cheers.
Thank you again.
You too.
In all seriousness, G-Bags, I'm going Ned Long. I don't think there's a better option there. Don't think there's a better one there. Hawksy says, fellas, I'm sitting here watching team sheets when I should be running. What are you running from, mate? I don't understand that. Emmett of Joel says, no, Husty. Yeah, we knew that. Kanga MC Jack, Shane Nukes is playing again this week. I know. I thought he'd be suspended for his WWE sling tackle, but of course not, because he plays for Hawthorn. It's just a 10K fine, and I've got to look at his name in my team again. I was really, really looking forward to ditching him. But again, it's Collingwood, and I don't think they necessarily leak points to inside mids, but anything under 100, I'll be very disappointed with. Kepsy Max says, hold marriage. Yes. If not, no, you're holding him. No, and I wouldn't bring Dacos in this week because McInnes is going to go straight to him. Most likely Gold Coast mid, or you get Real if that's where you're going. Honestly, the value's too good to pass up. Dalek says, good evening, guys. Hope you're all well. What are your thoughts on this? In Stewart, Nick Martin Gray, out SDK, Reed, Marriage. This leaves 290K for Bont or Brayshaw next week. No, don't get rid of Marriage. Choose someone else and still have those ins if possible. Don't get rid of Marriage. Solo Flintstonkis, please. Marty, please. Oh, mate, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. JCR says, Fife a problem for Bolton CBAs. I think Fife will be the sub. There's no way he plays a full game. Sean Darcy in, Luke Jackson cooked. We've already been over that. Scored all over Wits this week, and look how that goes. Yeah, just wait, honestly. Wait, I don't think with 2 rucks in there that's going to be fantastic scoring-wise. Jimmy D'Alberto says, Whitfield is so back with where you dropped. I just want to see it happen because I could easily just go and get Whitfield this week, and everyone here who knows me knows how much I love Lockie Whitfield, but I just want to see him, I want to see it go back to how he was, and he's got a high enough break even. It's not unattainable, but his price isn't going to move, and honestly, considering it's Lockie Whitfield, I really couldn't care if I pick him up 1 week before the bye. It's just that comfortability knowing that you've got Lockie Whitfield. And a bit of Joel says, Angus Hasty, cash cow of the season is back. Skew ball approved. You didn't say skew ball lock, mate. Get the line right. Merritt or Dunkley as a VC option tonight from McLovin? Neither. You go Neil or you don't do it. Chalky Neil VC from Hawksy. Average of 125 in his last however many. Kepsy Max says Neil into Sinclair or Whitfield into Sinclair. Go Neil, VC Neil. He'll be right. Also, do you think Neil gets tagged tonight? No, I think Setterfield will do a run with roll. Hesitant to VC him, but the scoring history is hard to ignore. Absolutely it is. That's why he was in my plans, but I mean, as you literally just heard, Brad, he's huge on Tommy Green against his own mob, so who am I to pass that up? He knows a lot more than I do. Joshua, how's it going? Shrimp Pro, like that. Joshua, again, should I hold trainer? Probably not. If he's your 18th, then I think you've got to. If he's your 19th, well, I'd be tempted to trade. Hawksy says, Scopes, don't let Brad take his shirt off again. It's dangerous. I'm sure it is. He's a very, very good-looking man. Joshua says, because next 2 weeks I'll downgrade to Angus Clark or Dawson guy from Essendon. Honestly, again, relies on the numbers. Elijah Sardis, the sub. Yeah, that's terrible. I don't know how he's a sub. Personally, I think Day Wicks should be the sub. Sardis needs to be playing that inside mid, or he needs to find a new club. Collingwood, come to the Pies, mate. You'll know what success is like. Archer Day Wicks gets a full game. He does. That's great if you've bought him, if you've already got him, if you went early on him like me, but I wouldn't bring him in. Tristan says, Max Heath named again. Is it the same as Boyd and will never play? Yeah, I believe so, mate. I believe so. Trevallious on field, that lessens the chances of it being a sub. I reckon it's Boxall or Hasty, though. If somehow it gets a run, that'll be something. Yep. Joshy says Clay Hall is literally dead rookie, 100%. Who are we VCing? I'm going, who did I say before? Tommy Green. It'll be Tom Green or it will be Max Gorn. Trade Huswaite or Clay Hall. Mate, flip a coin. They're both Shadow Realm. They're not coming back. Who is more dead? Literally just answered that, mate. They're cooked. Hey, boys. Reed and Cleary to Heaney and Gray. Would you use a third for Shees to Witt out promising floated across halfback flank last week? Cake matchup for Witt could meet that break here. Honestly, he definitely could. I just do the first two. But then again, I'm huge on trading Sheasel. I really am. Yeah, I'd do that. Yeah, Logs, I would. Yes, I would. Lizzie King says, I'm jumping on Stewie, but if he's a lady out, I'm cooked. Might need to rethink. I'm jumping on anyway, mate. Literally, yep. Tim C says, trying to decide VC and C combo, looking at Neil, Whitfield, Gawn, and Baz. Oh, you can't go wrong with Neil or Gawn into Baz, I don't think. If Tommy Stewart doesn't play, he's got enough to go to Max Holmes. Yep. This is very nice from Danny G. G'day, gents. Hope you both have a good weekend. 22 green dots is a great look. Yep. Batman must be taking some time off from saving Gotham. Trading out Reed and Al Hawley. Going to bring in McCall if I need another rookie to trade in. Gray. I'd probably prefer Clark even over Archer Daywicks. Yeah. Riley tries. Is there a world in which Sammy Flanders ends up a good pick at that price? Feel like he's building into the year. I'd need to see it. Vern, shout out to my man Vern who carried Rage Trade Mondays while Josh and I could not attend. He's a superstar. I have no doubt in my mind that it was an absolute success because we love this man and we wouldn't be here without him. That's how much he means to us and how much effort he puts in. But he's got this wrong. Dudley was not dropped. It's out for personal reason. Oh my goodness. MD, Dism X, who are the top trade targets this week? You're literally going rookies, mate. Honestly, I think you always enter the first buy with trying to set things up. Gray. Honestly, it's Gray for me. That's it. Is Kane McAuliffe worth keeping if keeping until the very end of the buy? So we last upgrade combines some cash jam plus decent scoring. I'd go Sheldrick personally. Is it worth getting Keeler and Gray this week or just the one? Just get the one. I'd be happy to let Keeler go if you could just get Gray. I don't think you're going both. Jerv says, is Sheasel to Whitfield doing too much? No. Moraes to Gray and then Carroll to Brock or that She trade might... I just do the Sheasel trade, honestly. Joshy says, Neil VC is going to go big. I completely agree. Dunks or track for VC into Smith C. Nothing wrong with that, Rogue Right. VC Neil into Gawn or VC Gawn into Baz. Honestly, flip a coin, mate. Flip a coin because either way it's going to end up well. Geordie D says, boys, how are we doing? I'm good, thanks. And I'm sure Pro is enjoying work again. Tyler D, Sinclair and Neil, boys. Neil for the VC. Jacko, Toby Green and Merritt / Lockie Ash or Caldwell and Pickett. Can you just do Merritt and Lockie Ash? I'm not huge on Toby Green. I'm not huge on Caldwell and Pickett's. That's ballsy. Yeah. Tyler D, is Matt Roberts a trade? Thinking bringing in... No, he's not a trade. At worst, flip on the buy. Burner 77 doing Reed and Max Hall to Heaney and Gray. Might boost a dead rookie to Clark. Not sure if boosting a dead rookie is worth. However, only have 18, 19 if Boxall plays. Probably just go with it for the 18. I don't think it's worth a boost. Geordie says, what are your thoughts on Campbell Gray's job security with being over that, mate? I really like it. Matty Sav says, hey, lads, thinking of going Reed, Simpson, Stone to Gray, Clark, Real. That gives me 18 this week and 14 trades with 220K for 4 more primos. What do you think? I would do that. Yes. Jake Wood says, hey, fellas, what do you think of these trades? Zach Reed, Cleary, and McRae out to Whitfield, Graham. If you've got McRae still, just hold him. Honestly, just hold him. I wouldn't do that. No, mate. Tristan Collard says, trade Max Hall due to the 104 break even or trade Clay Hall or Huswaite who aren't playing. Depends what you think Maxi Hall scores. If you think he's going to leak cash, then you get rid of him first and you'll buy numbers. Oliver and Stewart or Salem and Gray for Oliver and Stewart or Salem and Gray for Reed, Kako, Cleary. Hope you're well, fellas. Thank you very much, mate. I'd go Stewart and Gray. Stewart and Gray. Dalek says, personally, I'm okay with the Stewart risk. Reed isn't going to play. No loss this week if Stewart doesn't either, and he's got the cover. Perfect. Thoughts on this, mate? Out. Reed and Huswaite in Gray and any Primo 560k and under. Yes. Shout out to you, Carl Meany. Hope you're well, mate. Caldwell or Real, a better pick. I hate Essendon's run personally, so I'm going Real. Do you prefer Tom Green or Zerrett for the rest of the year? Because Tommy Green plays Richmond, I'm going Tom Green. But I think Zerrett's a better player. I just like GWS's run. Carl Meany says, g'day, fellas. Brad Scott just can't bring himself to give the People's Champ. Elijah T, a clear run at it. Jealous of Sardis, Silky Silks, and charisma is the word. Absolutely. Oh, finally, someone gets it. Finally. If I could pin comments to be on the screen forever, that would be up there. Draft League. I don't do draft. Joshy's dished us, so we've got no expert to go to. Captain Nank, Levi Ashcroft, or Caleb Sarong. I'll just go Caleb Sarong. Dylan Teets, I held the faith. I started Ned Long and I'm finishing team with Ned Long. He's a god. Flex for the rest of the year. I agree. Carl says, do you think it's better to bring in Nick Dacos or Nazire Wanganeen Malira this week? Would wait ideally, but lower numbers. I go someone else. Naz has got the bye next week. Dacos is going to get clamped by McGuinness. So, yeah. CJG, how would you rank Rao, Caldwell, Stewart as trade-ins this week? If I could use some DPP, I'd bring in Rao, but I'm going Stewart. But if DPP is no issue, it's Rao, Stewart, Caldwell for me. Sheasel to Nick Martin. Yes, I would do that. I know some people want to hold Sheasel, but I'm pretty much against that. Reed, Maxi Hall, McRae. Nah. Why are you trading McRae now that you've held for so long? I mean, the ins are pretty nice. Gray, Anderson, Dawson. Just don't. Does Jordan go to Dawson? I know he didn't tag last week, but surely he does. So maybe just go Reed and hold a Gray and Anderson, I think. Only reason I'm trading Marriage is because I'm not a fan of trading Daniel when Marriage is going to drop a lot of cash and Daniel is in for a decent rise. I can understand that, but I still think you hold Marriage. Purely from cash gen, I understand that. Raymond says, lad, should I be training out El Hawley or Sardis? I think this week you do El Hawley. Also, should I get rid of Caleb Daniel to route? No. If I trade out Sardis instead of El Hawley, I can get Dawson or Noah Coaster instead. But you're trading Caleb Daniel, which I don't like. Don't do that. Zach Reed to Nazire, Stone to Gray. Yep, lock that in. Hawksy, I'm bringing in Stewart, but if he's laid out, do I go Caldwell or McAuliffe instead? I would rather a keeper, though. I'm banking money for next week. For sure, don't see McAuliffe as a keeper. I reckon you just take the 0. Surely, take the 0. I have to decide Caldwell in like 20. And Caldwell will go well. He will go well. But is he really, really going to be top 8 from here on out? I don't think so. Raymond, I do have the sheets. Yeah. Talk me out of Jai Caldwell and Tom Stewart. Tom Stewart has the ability to be top 8 better than Caldwell has the ability to be top 8 from now on to the end of the year. Caldwell's a good player, don't get me wrong, and he's priced extremely well. So is Tom Stewart, and I think Stewart is over that knee niggle, and he's back to taking bulk marks and just doing his thing in that defensive line. And have you seen Geelong's run? I'm going to go Stewart over Caldwell, and it's not an argument. Trade McRae with 3 to upgrade and 12 trades. Or hold and risk running exactly 18 on field this way. You've held McRae this long. Hold again. Scott McKay says, hey, boys, been keen on Stewart all week, but Bomber defenders are starving. Considering going McGrath over Stewart, same price, who do you think comes? Oh, no. Stewart, no. McGrath, no. Nah. Jez Laz says, can you tell DR to put the symbols back into the store? Yes, mate. Yep, I'll get onto that. Could you get Toby Green in as more of a cash play and use him to make the last upgrade of his buy? No. If you don't think Green's going at 100, check my tweets today, mate. I did a projection on him. If you don't think that he goes 100 from now on, then it's not worth it, and it's not a cash play. It's a failed trade. Tristan C says, thanks as always for great advice. Sheldrick job security, not as good as McAuliffe's. No, but I think McAuliffe's job security is better. In saying that, I think Sheldrick is a better player than McAuliffe, if that makes sense. That's just me personally, and you can make arguments for whichever side you see. I was a lot more interested in Sheldrick than McAuliffe, but I don't think I'm going to go to either. Jerb says, cheers, Nate. Appreciate your work as always. Race to Gray and cheers to Wit. It is then for me. It gives me 177k bank, 15 trades left. Clark in for Clay Hall is tempting. Wait next week because then that's who you can get in on the bubble. Or you know what I mean. 230 people training in Joel Jeffrey, bro. Who is that guy? Don't even worry about it. She's to Dawson viable. I'd be hugely tempted by that, but Dawson's probably going to get Jordan. Hopefully Durham doesn't do a number on Neil. I think it's more likely to be Setterfield, but Neil will just cook. Zach Reed, Sheasel and Carroll out for Gray, Tom Green and Lockie. Oh my God. That's nice. Yeah, I'm all for that 100%. Yep. Slap the VC on either Green or Neil. Yeah, definitely said I'm bringing Nando in, but probably can't bring in Rao then. That's why I want Stewart over Caldwell. If you know other way around that mark, then go for it. Already on Ned, Lordy, Longson. I love that. It's Stewart over Caldwell for me. Mitch Duncan's glorious bollock says she's to Dawson or Rankin. Depends how many primos you have this week because I really think Dawson is going to get tagged by Jordan, but I'm 100% choosing Dawson over Rankin. CJG says, I'm going Reed, Bison, Marriage. I don't like that. To Dacos, who's going to get tagged. Gray Green with 320 in the bank to get Bont and another. No. Let's change this up. Reed, Bice, and dead rookie. Keeping Marriage to Real / Stewart, Gray, and Green with 320k in the bank. Dacos is going to get clamped by McGuinness, and you can get Bont another week. Change those trades up. Don't like them. Anderson, Dawson, or Merritt in. Out of them, I'm going Anderson, including... No, I'm still going Anderson. Sorry, mate. Archer, May, and Lee McMahon to play defense for SNSV. I'll keep a watch on this one. Yeah, I wanted May at the Pies. That's stiff. Connor Pender, sorry for the third. No, don't be sorry. Is Simpson and She's to Graham Wanganeen an option? Yes, it is. Is Max Hall a trade out this week? It's purely dependent on your team and the numbers. Kanga, MC Jack, Zachary, Sheasel, Layla to Gray, Anderson, Martin. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. But you've also got to remember that I don't think Shees is top 6, nor is he a keeper. Currently. Definitely can be, but currently he's not, in my opinion. I've already traded Caldwell in after 2 tons as a pod to start the year and then out when he got injured earlier this year. Surely no way I can go back there again. No, God, no. Nah. For your mental sanity. Geordie says, my trades this week out, Carroll, Simpson and Reed in, Campbell Gray, Zeret and Angus Clark. Don't mind that, but I'd prefer a different premium. Yeah. How much have you got in the bank? Because I'm not 100% on Merritt. Like, fantastic player, but I just think there's people with better runs. Matt Backman says, trade in Green or Neil? Neil. Plays for a better team. Alan Joseph says, Chad Warner, Nick Martin, or Pickett as top 6 midfielder by the end of the year. If not them, any other forwards? Like, what? Any other forwards I could bring in? I don't think none of them will be top 6 midfielders by the end of the year. If we're looking solely as a forward, I'm going Nick Martin with his role. If I can get one person, who should I get? Raul, Anderson, Petraka, Dawson, or Nick Martin? Raul for the value because cash is tight. Whitfield, Holmes, or Noble? No, Jesus, I've been tossing this up the entire week. Noble's not an option for me. I love the bloke. I feel sorry for him. Will always have a spot in my heart. Whitfield or Holmes? Flip a coin on Whitfield or Holmes, honestly. What does the spare cash allow you to do next week if you go Holmes? My next week's plans involve trading Flynn. If he tons, I'm completely lost. Probably a good position to have. Jimmy D says, don't trade Shees. And Morin, if you think that Sheasel is going to bounce back, then absolutely don't trade him. Absolutely don't. That's silly if you think he's going to bounce back. I personally don't think he will. I think that role's going to stick. And he's the most versatile out of the midfielders and defenders that can play in a multitude of positions. No, you're not going to see Caleb Daniel in a forward pocket. You're not going to see LDU playing at full forward. You're going to see Riley Hardman starting in a half forward flank. No, you're not. That's purely why I'm trading Sheasel, because he's such a good player, which in turn affects his super coach capabilities because he's going to get thrown around a lot. Last 2 weeks of data, that sold me. Agree if you want, don't agree. I don't know if I'm going to be right, could be wrong. That's just what I'm going with. Worst week for Shees not to play. Yeah, 100%. One last one, mate. Anderson or Tommy Green. Home Mill says out, Reed, Trainer, Cleary. What else we got, mate? Like, who's your ins? Can get MC Jack. Got Jerry, TDK, and Luke Jackson at the moment. TDK or Luke Jackson to go on later in season. That will definitely be Luke Jackson if Sean Darcy's fit. Instead of Merritt, I would have 561k in the bank. What would you recommend? Mids, I have included Bont, Brayshaw, Libba, Neal, Dunks, Shearer. Instead of Merritt, I would have 561k in the bank. What would you recommend? Mids, he's already got Bont, Brayshaw, Libba, Neal, Dunks. Jeez, that's a good midfield. I'd honestly be tempted just to get Real and bank 80k. I really would. For the score this week and next week's upgrade sheet, cadence. Shees will get back into the midfield. Oh, he definitely could be. Absolutely. Should Dudley or Cleary go? Dudley out, then buy, but break even. No, I'd trade Dudley. Won't play half forward all year. I mean, again, it's a good discussion to have. I just think he's so versatile that literally hinders his Supercoach prospects. How many does ADW kick tonight, and will you put money on for the Coleman? Oh, Jesus, turn it up. I will be shocked if Archer Daywicks goes above 45. Yep, no. Dalek says, I've got bigger fish to fry than sidewaysing Shees. Would rather get full primo first than Murray. Yep, absolutely. Everyone's in a different position. 100%. 100%. Rayner 36. I like that. Suresh Rayner shout out. Is Daywicks justifiable to bring in? I personally wouldn't know. No, look what he scored. And they've been full games. No. Kanga says, I'm not sold on Merritt being top 8 mid yet. I might be in it. Mate, when he's sub, trust me, I own him. When he's sub-timed, it's infuriating. But every midfielder is susceptible to that. Burner 77 says 120k more in the bank or another body on field. What's that in relation to? Trying to find your early comment. I don't know what that's in relation to, mate. Give me some context. Like, help me out here. Hawksy, so wait, what were the Tom Stewart whispers you mentioned earlier? I still can't find them. The whispers that I heard, and don't get me wrong, the only thing that I will go on record saying that I'm 100% confident on is literally Carlton team news, because Logs is all over that, and he's got 12 out of 12 correct for me. And one was when literally one of the outs was changed. He literally sent me that. I just didn't even read the message. So that was on me. But him himself relaying that info, absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. And I literally have just been sent and heard things that like Tom Stewart is not going to be named, which clearly he was. Like still capability that he's could be laid out, but I don't know why they'd take him over there and then bring him back if he's not going to play. Dawson or Tom Green? Tom Green, because I think Dawson is going to get clamped this week. Why Rao? Why would he make 80? No, you're banking the 80K, mate. Rao's what? You said you've got 560 to spend on any premium midfielder. Rao's 485. I just rounded it to 80K, mate. And I think same output. Rao or Nakos this week. Nakos will get clamped, so it's going to be Rao for me. Jerb says, am I Bo Allen Peanut if I trade Daniel up to Nick Martin to go with Maurice Gray and shit? Yeah, don't do that. I don't like that, mate. No. If I hold McRae, Stewart goes down, I cop a donut, horrible spot. Yeah, that's stiff. That comes down to if you think he could be laid out or not. If you do, you're more than welcome to think that. I personally don't. Burner77 says, undo Max Hall trade and trade Clay Hall instead. Trading Max Hall gives you 320K in the bank to trading Clay Hall. Yeah, do that. Absolutely. If he loses a little bit of cash, so what? At least you get points on field this week and it gives you a chance to have a higher score. It's best 18. Lower scores are going to drop out. Paris says Clark or Gray. No, Gray. And it looks like we've got no more questions. That's it. We're done. Finished. Thank you, everyone. I think we topped out at 160 something on the live for tonight. It was a lot quicker than always. Huge shout out to Pro, or as I know him, Brad. He's a beautiful human. Go and check his channel out. Just literally just type Supercoach Pro 91 in YouTube. Make sure you like his channel. He is a superstar. Really nice guy. Thank you so much, Kanga. Definitely not doing that one. Sorry, Jerbs. But thank you to everyone that joined. It's been amazing to be back. Shouted about not being here for Rage Trade Mondays. But awesome work by Verns. Huge shout out to him. He's an absolute superstar. We appreciate him so much. Would really like to shout out Third Man Up as well. Go and check their rookie data dump, their C and VC options. I know in the chat tonight there's been a lot about the VC and C. Go and look at theirs. Every time I say this every week, look for the green, make your decisions off that. Super simple, super easy. 9 times out of 10, you're guaranteed a good score. Simples. And please don't forget to like, subscribe if you're not. Please, one more for me. I know you've all stuck around. There's still 90 of you still here. Please, get stuck into Joshy for me, because where's he been? My shoulders are sore. Literally carrying us all along. I know that's a lie. He's got things to do. But make sure you get stuck into him for me. You know where to find me. Hopefully the Pies shove it up the Hawks and John Newcomb actually does something. You know I've got a hate on for him. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully everybody's Supercoach team does well. I know it's only Thursday night. If you can lock away VC tonight, go for it. Shout out to Lockie Neal. He's going 160. Hopefully enjoy, everyone. Thank you. Don't forget to check out the website, supercoachswordplay.com. All the awesome merch is there. Enjoy the evening. And let's pray that Sardis gets an extended run at it, because he's a superstar. Enjoy. Have a good one. I'll see you for Rage Trade Mondays and the same spot next week here for Rage Trade Thursdays. And maybe if we get enough movement and enough ats on X asking where Joshy was, he might actually come back. Enjoy, guys.